Dealing with back-to-school anxiety? Well, if you're not, your children probably are, according to the experts. And joining us with some advice about how you can help your kids is the author of The Best Investment: Unlocking Secrets of Social Success for Your Child. Please welcome Dr. Andie.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Dr. Andie. All right, who has the more stress, the kids or us?
I think the kids have it. And part of what happens with children is that, especially with going back to school, a new situation, everybody has it, children especially, and all children will feel that. And one of the things that, I don't know about you, but I still can remember what it felt like back to school.
Oh,
being on that school bus,
sure.
Kind of excited, really nervous, with butterflies in my stomach, thinking about who's going to be my new teacher, who's going to be in my classroom, how will I do in school? These are normal kind of concerns that children have. And the underlying reason for that is it's the unknown, it's the uncertainty.
Right.
What signs should we look for?
For anxiety with children with this? Well, children, sometimes children won't talk about it, but they may be really quiet, you know. And some children will say, I'm really scared, or they'll be nervous about it, or they won't be sleeping at night. That's a one sign that you can look for. They're not sleeping as well, or they may not be wanting to eat.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is to talk about these things. In my book, The Best Investment, I talk about how children who develop social and emotional skills, they can deal with any of these things, whether it's a new school situation or anything that comes up in the new situation in school. It's really something that they'll always have.
Let's talk about some of the specific things parents can do to help ease that anxiety. I know you recommend visiting the school beforehand.
If you can, it's really important, if you can get permission from the principal, let's say. Children do really well when they're more familiar, especially a child that's starting school, kindergarten in particular, or it's somebody who's transferring to a new school. Let them see where the classroom is, let them see where the bathrooms are, the cafeteria. The more that they know, the more they will feel more comfortable with the new situation.
What about sort of setting up a routine? Is that something you set up at home?
Well, back to school means no more late nights, no more sleeping late. So children do much better when they know what's expected, and routines help them with that. So, a few days beforehand, get the children up a little bit, get them up, get them up earlier, but let them go to bed earlier. Kind of get them into the routine, pick out the clothes the night before. Kind of get them used to what it's going to be like, for the school routine.
Sure. You talked about some of the specific things that kids get anxious about. What are some of the positive things parents can talk to kids about to make them feel excited about going back to school?
Well, that's a great question, a great comment, because one of the things you can do with children is they like to focus on the things that are fun. So talk about the positive aspects of going back to school. Sometimes, it can be a new tradition, going to look for new school supplies, or if the financial picture can afford, to afford it, a new back-to-school outfit, something to look forward to. And then concentrate perhaps on the things that they could be looking forward to, some of the school trips, the Halloween parade, or if they're older, the prom, things that they'll be excited about.
Yeah.
The day of, is the first day that they're going to school, so for the really tiny ones, is it better to take them or let them go on the school bus? I mean, what is your best option there?
Well, I think it depends upon the child. I know in particular, I took my own daughter to school. She liked that. She felt more comforted by that. But sometimes the situation is, you got to put them on the school bus, and and I think the parents feel worse at that point when they say goodbye at the school bus. But if you can, I think it depends upon the child.
Suppose you have a child who stresses out over getting good grades. How can you help the child focus on the effort as opposed to just the performance?
Going back to school, kids worry about whether or not they're going to be able to handle the next grade schoolwork. And I've always suggested to parents is stress the effort as opposed to the academics or the performance. It's more important to learn. It's more important that you're learning something as opposed to getting the good grades. We do want our children to do well academically, I understand that, but there's too much stress on that. So it's more important to say, you know what, I'm more interested in you putting the effort in studying, doing your homework. And I'm here if you have any problems, or if your teacher, you have any questions, ask the teacher. Again, takes that stress off of the academic workload.
Is there a way to sort of get an idea of what the curriculum will be the next year, so that you could have sort of already discuss what the expectations might be for that child?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I think that if you know the teacher beforehand, some parents can find out who the teacher's going to be. You can ask them, what do you think the school books are going to be? Maybe you do some summer reading beforehand. Again, children that are a little bit more prepared, the anxiety may go down because they know what's expected of them.
You can find so many of Dr. Andie's tips on our website. Great information. Thank you so much.
Much.
Makes me want to go back to school, actually.